Hello students and learners, and welcome to the Brainbox Tutorials. And yes, I can understand the feelings of all the students after giving the biology paper, because when I went through the paper, I was also so happy to see that the paper was very easy, and I hope you have also scored very well in this exam. Let us go through all the questions and answers quickly, so that you can also calculate properly how many marks are you getting. And I hope everyone will be getting excellent marks in biology, because इससे easy paper नहीं हो सकता. So okay, without wasting any time, let us start with the paper of I.C.S.E. Semester 2 examination biology. Okay, so starting with section A, question 1, 10 MCQs. First one, the mineral element in hemoglobin, and the correct option is B, iron. Number 2, the number of cranial nerves in humans are A12, B31 pairs, C31 and D12 pairs. The correct answer will be 12 pairs. Okay, 31 pairs is for spinal nerves that we were doing in the MCQ section. Remember, I have uploaded the MCQ part that has question about the spinal nerves. The question here is about cranial nerves. Now third one, gigantism and acromegaly are due to, and the correct option will be number A, hypersecretion of growth hormone. This was also given in my MCQ in the last video. Number 4, pericardium covers the, and correct option is A, heart. Number 5, the circular opening in the center of iris. Correct option will be D, pupil. Number 6, the blood vessel that carries oxygenated blood is, and the correct option will be pulmonary vein. I have also given an MCQ regarding pulmonary vein and oxygenated blood. Number 7, organ of Corti is present inside the, and the correct option is option A, cochlea. This was also in my MCQs. Number 8, the structure that stores urine temporarily is, correct option is C, urinary bladder. Number 9, islets of Langerhans are located in, the correct option is D, pancreas. The islets of Langerhans have 3 types of cells, alpha, beta and delta cells. Number 10, the main nitrogenous waste formed in the human body, and the correct option will be B, urea. This question was also given by me in the MCQ. The correct option was urea, and many students have written that it should be uric acid. How can it be urea? I don't know what have you written, what have you ticked in the answer now, but the correct option will be B, urea only. Now coming to section B, attempt any 3 questions, but we will solve all here. Question number 2, number 1. Simple goiter is usually seen in people living in the hilly regions. Give 2 reasons for the statement. Now, what are the 2 reasons you could give here? One will be that the food available in hilly regions have deficiency in iodine. That is why they have simple goiter. And second reason can be that because of the deficiency of iodine, less thyroxine, hypersecretion of thyroxine happens. Because of that, the thyroid gland enlarges and simple goiter happens. Now number 2, what are the 2 types of blood circulation in humans? That is about double circulation. See, so simple question, just you will have to name the 2 and there are 2 marks for it. So the marks distribution are so good, you will only have to name the types. Like here 2 types of blood circulation will be, number 1, systemic blood circulation, that will be between heart and body parts, and second one is pulmonary blood circulation, that is between lungs and heart. Now number 3, mention the 3 major steps involved in the production of urine. Now again, see, you will just have to mention the names, the 3 steps, and 3 marks are here. You will not have to write anything about them. So here the 3 are, number 1, ultrafiltration. Number 2, selective reabsorption. And number 3 will be tubular secretion. I hope everyone has written it correctly. Now number 4, draw a neat diagram of a neuron and label any two parts. This is also such an easy diagram. See, for making neuron, you will first make a cyton or a cell body, then this is axon, here nerve ending would be like this, and here you can make dendrites and dendron. So this is dendron and dendrites, and here you can make myelin sheath like this. And then the full part covering will be neurolemma, and you can and here nucleus will be there. And now you can label any two parts, so it can be axon, cell body, dendrites, dendron. Okay, so any two parts can be mentioned here. Now coming to question number 3, part 1. What is adrenal virilism? Now adrenal virilism is a condition in matured women where they have male characteristics like deep voice, like beard, mustache, etc. And what causes this condition? So the reason for this condition is overgrowth of adrenal cortex. Now second question, which is the light sensitive layer of the eyeball? So light sensitive layer will be retina. And next part is, where exactly is the image formed on this layer? So where exactly is image formed? So you can write yellow spot, because on retina the distinct vision will happen in yellow spot. Now number 3, study the diagram given below and answer the questions that follow. This is the diagram, and the question number A is, identify the defect of the eye by mentioning the technical term. Now we can see that the rays are meeting outside the retina, so this is hypermetropia. Okay, and the next question is, mention one reason for this defect. So one reason for this defect, see there are two reasons given for this defect. So one reason is that shortening of eyeball from front to back, and the second one will be the lens has become too flat. Number C, name the type of lens used to correct this defect. Lens used to correct this defect will be convex lens. Number 4, give the biological terms for the 3 tiny bones present in the middle ear. See, again you will just have to mention those 3 tiny bones and you will get 3 marks for it. So the 3 tiny bones are malleus, incus and stapes. Or you could also have written hammer, anvil and stirrup. Coming to question number 4, number 1, name the endocrine gland that secretes thyroxine. So the endocrine gland which secretes thyroxine is thyroid gland. Next is, give any one function of thyroxine. So any one function of thyroxine, you could have written basal metabolism, that it regulates basal metabolism, or you could have also written that it influences the general growth of the body, that is physical and mental growth. Now number 2, give the full form of abbreviation ACTH. Full form of ACTH will be adrenocorticotrophic hormone. And which gland secretes this hormone? So this hormone is secreted by the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Now part 3, define the term synapse. Now synapse, we know it is a gap between the 2 neurons. So either you could have written just like that it is a fine gap between the 2 neurons, or you could have given the proper definition, that is a point of contact between terminal branches of the axon of a neuron with the dendrites of another neuron. So that separation or that fine gap is synapse. Now how are cytons and axons of neurons placed in the cerebrum. Now in the cerebrum, the cytons are on the outer side and axons are in the inner side. So cytons are arranged on the outer part of the cerebrum and axons are arranged in the inner part. Or you could also have written that cytons are in the gray matter and also at the outer part. You will write outer part, that is important. And axon is white matter, so that is in the inner part. Okay, so main part is that cytons are on the outer part of cerebrum and axons are in the inner part of the cerebrum. Now number 4, name 3 membranous coverings of the human brain. Now that also has 3 marks. See, now see, if the covering is mentioned of the human brain, that is meninges, but we know that there are 3 layers of meninges. What are they? Dura mater, arachnoid and pia mater. So these are the 3 membranous covering. Now moving on to question number 5, part 1. Name the nerve that transmits impulses to the brain from part A ear, part B eye. This also we have done in our MCQ in revision class. Ear, it will be auditory nerve, and eye, it will be optical nerve. Number 2, a mature mammalian erythrocyte lacks nucleus and mitochondria but is efficient in its functioning. Explain by giving suitable reasons. Now see, there will be 2 reasons. One, why nucleus is not there and why mitochondria is not there, still it is efficient. So erythrocyte, that means RBC, a mature RBC lacks nucleus so that it can give space to hemoglobin, and mitochondria is not there so that the oxygen in the hemoglobin will not be used up by the mitochondria, because mitochondria uses oxygen and gives energy. So mitochondria is not there, so oxygen is not used inside the erythrocyte and all the oxygen is distributed all over the body. And nucleus is not there. Why? Because it gives extra space for the accommodation of more hemoglobin. So these will be 2 reasons. You will give 2 reasons for nucleus and mitochondria. Number 3, the diagram given below is that of a human brain. Answer the questions that follow. Number 1 is cerebrum, number 2 is cerebellum, and see number 3, see here arrow is not given properly. 2 arrows, number 2 and 3 both indicate cerebellum. So obviously number 3 arrow is wrong. Number 3 should start from here and it should indicate medulla oblongata. So because the diagram is wrong, see, the question is also label the parts number 2 and 3. If 1 was given, that was clear that it was cerebrum. 2 is also clear that it is cerebellum. But 3, obviously because of the arrow, most of the students might have got confused. But it will be medulla oblongata. There is a mistake and in the paper itself by the I.C.S.E. board itself. So I don't think whether you will get grace marks for this or not. Let us see what happens. But this can be seen here that it is a clear mistake in the printing. But it is for sure that the 3rd arrow will indicate this part and not this part. So 3rd part will be medulla oblongata. So if you have written medulla oblongata, then you will not have to worry because 2 is cerebellum and number 3 is medulla oblongata. But those who got confused because of the arrow can only wait for any kind of announcement by the board that whether they will be given grace marks or not. Or maybe if many students will tweet by going to the official Twitter handle of CIC board that they should get grace marks for this. So maybe they can get grace marks. We saw that in chemistry paper also we had few questions, 2 questions I think, which were misprinted. So I think students have tweeted also for the grace marks, and because it was a mistake on the side of board, so they actually should give grace mark, but I am not sure whether they will give or not. That depends actually upon you, how you respond to this, how you tweet, how many numbers of tweets go there, and then only they can decide. If many students, majority of the students will tweet, then maybe they can. Anyway, number B, this is state any one function of the part numbered 1. Part numbered 1 is cerebrum. So one function of cerebrum is memory. There are many functions of cerebrum. See, it is thinking, memory, intelligence. So you could have written any one of those. Okay, now coming to part 4. What is a reflex action? So what will be the definition of reflex action? That reflex action is an automatic or immediate involuntary action in the body brought about by the stimulus. And name the 2 types of reflexes. So the 2 types of reflexes will be, one will be innate reflex and second will be conditioned reflex. If here in place of innate you will write natural, that will also be correct. So natural reflex and conditioned reflexes are the 2 types of reflexes. Moving on to question number 6. Number 1, give the exact location of pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, so the exact location will be, it will be between right ventricle and pulmonary artery. Or you can also write that it is at the opening of the pulmonary artery. Actually, it is between pulmonary artery and right ventricle. So anything, any of the 2 you can write and you will get marks. And when does it close? It closes in the beginning of ventricular diastole. See, at the beginning of ventricular systole, the cuspid valve, that is bicuspid and tricuspid valve, close. And at the beginning of ventricular diastole, pulmonary semilunar valve and the other one, that is aortic semilunar valve, both get closed. So the correct answer will be beginning of ventricular diastole. Now coming to number 2, name the hormones whose deficiency causes part A diabetes mellitus, part B diabetes insipidus. You will have to name the hormone. So now this is easy. Diabetes mellitus is caused because of the deficiency of insulin, and diabetes insipidus is because of the deficiency of ADH, antidiuretic hormone. So here the quantity of glucose increases in the blood, and here the urine output is increased. Now moving on to part 3 of 6. Draw a neat diagram of longitudinal section of human kidney and label renal cortex and renal medulla on the diagram. Now see, this is also very easy, longitudinal section of human kidney. If we draw it, you will draw something like this. Then from here ureter goes, okay, and from here you can show papilla and pyramid. Like this. Here it will be a little bit shorter. Okay, and this will have dotted appearance. So this part is the renal cortex and this part is renal medulla. Okay, now number 4, mention one function for each of the following. Part A is lymphocytes. Lymphocyte is a type of WBC and its function is to produce antibodies. Part B is thrombocytes. Thrombocytes are nothing but blood platelets. So these are type of blood cells. You should be knowing it that main function is blood clotting. Okay, and then this part is neutrophils. So neutrophils main function is phagocytosis. Either write the technical name, or you could have explained this, that engulfing bacteria is the main function of neutrophils. That is also correct. So this was I.C.S.E. semester 2's biology paper. It was very easy and I hope you have scored very good marks in it. Please write to me in the comment box how was your paper. I will see you in the next video very soon. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning. Bye bye. Jai Hind.